This is the Horse Radio Network.
Hey, you're listening to Adulting with Horses, the best place to be if you can't be at the barn. We are your co-hosts and equine authors, Heather Wallace and Natalie Keller-Reinert. As crazy horse girls, we don't take ourselves too seriously in the saddle or out. We celebrate the things that make us different. Join us as we talk about horses and pop culture and get a little weird in a fun way. Thank you for being a little weird with us. I'll fix that. Shazam.
Oops.
I mean, I thought I'd let them all hang out. It does say I'm a hoe
It does.
on my shirt.
It does. Lucky patrons.
Performer Ride knew their target audience.
Performer Ride. Now they're from Australia, right?
They are, and they're a small business run by two sisters, and they're amazing. So
they come here when it's summer in Australia to sell their holiday gear, and then they can sell their holiday gear in Australia. No, never mind.
Still the same holiday.
It's still the same
Still
holiday.
the same holiday.
Oh dear. It's been a bit of a week.
Like Sydney, they live in Sydney. Sydney doesn't exactly get cold, so it's kind of like nice most. It's like, well, I wouldn't say it's like Florida but they also have a lot of things that can kill you there.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
so.
We've always called Florida like Australia light because we have a lot of things that will mess you up, but maybe not necessarily kill you. Like our spiders will kind of screw you up, whereas all of the ones in Australia, nothing is set up in my usual way. So if things go wrong,
What's that sound, Natalie? Just being awkward,
being really awkward. I'm in the new office. This is the room that we redid. Like we ripped the walls off. Like it had no front wall for a while.
Yeah.
We just hung a tarp over the front of the house. The dry summer actually really helped with that. And so it's got all my saddles in it, which is great. And all the saddles I've borrowed from people. You know who you are. And it has my big, beautiful wall art from Disney Saratoga Springs Resort. And it has a couch and a television. It's
an office.
It's
official.
I've lived in apartments about this size. It's its own little bachelor pad, really.
Oh, for real? Well, when I took over my husband's office, because he moved upstairs because he wanted to not be in a cave anymore, and I was like, cave? That sounds great. And
yeah.
So we switched, and this is my like little she cave. So my lights are flashing. I think I set something off. Anyway, I have a little couch, and I can be tall and not have like just my neck on the video. I'm
Do you have
sitting
a problem
on a
with
pillow.
my neck?
No. I'm sitting on a pillow because I'm short.
My computer is on two different board game boxes. So it's on a Trivial Pursuit box, and it's on this game called Pictionary Man. And the Pictionary Man has like a big plastic man that you're supposed to draw things on. But what's really great is on the front of the box, it has the man and it has a speech bubble, and the man is saying, "Who am I?" And I'm like, I don't know, Pictionary
Existential
Man.
question.
I don't know.
Well, my laptop is on the big book of dressage exercises.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it gets a lot of use because not the exercises, but the book. So, because I haven't ridden in like 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling it.
'Tis the crazy season. I'm about ready to be done with it.
Yeah, I'm going back out of town when this episode airs. I will be on yet another adventure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like I missed we always have this is Wednesday, if I can share that with the world. And we always have like nachos or tacos on Tuesday because
Taco Tuesday.
like, yeah, it's one of the only traditions in my family. And it's my like touchstone. Like in Pioneer days, they had their bath on Sunday. So they knew what day it was. They're like, oh, I had a bath 2 days ago, so today's Tuesday. And that's very much how I feel about Taco Tuesday. But we didn't have it last night. And so I have gone all day thinking today was Tuesday. And that I was only in the middle of my difficult week. And it turns out that today is the last day of this difficult week. And then I have a whole new version of hell that opens up next week because of Thanksgiving and school holidays and things like that. But I'm very excited for 2-3 days of not hell, if it happens. and then I'm going to ride. That was the point. Like, I'm psyched to get back on my horse and not die, maybe. And
Oh, yeah. I fully plan on dying. I have no idea what ruckus I'm going to be facing when I had to text my trainer and be like, sorry that I'm also skipping my lesson for another week, but I'm also pulling my children out of their lesson for the second week because I don't have time to take them and don't hate me. And so she sent me like crying emojis.
Oh, no.
Like, and I love her so much, but I'm like, I already feel so guilty, and then just making it worse.
She's like, cancel the turkey, kids. Oh,
you cannot be controlled right now.
Hello. It's
the
usually
microphone just try to like
the
touch your boobs?
microphone definitely was in my cleavage. I had this lovely boom mic, and it's on my desk in my bedroom and not in this office. But my husband was taking a nap, so.
Well, and then you woke him up to help you with your tech.
I heard him. It was timing. I heard him in the kitchen, and that's why when I got up and yelled.
Oh my God.
I know.
What would they do without us? And what would we do without them? They're good for something.
They are. Well, and yesterday I went to Disney. That was part of my Hell Week, even though I really wanted to go, but like there's so much going on right now. But my son's girlfriend wanted me to go to Disney with her.
Aww.
So we went to Magic Kingdom together. So I drove 2.5 hours to Orlando, picked her up. She made me French toast.
Oh,
so sweet. And then we went to Magic Kingdom, and then I schlepped all the way back to Gainesville to have a drink and go to bed, and then wake up bright and early and start all over again. I'm like, oh wow, that was a weird decision, but
you committed.
I did. I committed, and I would break plans with a lot of people, but I would not break plans with her because she's so sweet and wonderful and kind, and I feel very lucky to have her in my life.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You would break plans with me, and I'm sweet and wonderful and kind, and you like me.
You're a lot tougher than she is. Like, a lot tougher. She's just a delicate little flower. You are not.
Maybe I am on the inside.
Maybe you are on the inside, but you have enough of a shell that you can be a boulder on the outside, and I'm not worried about you.
That's true, because half the time, if someone were to cancel, I'd be like, oh, shucks. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to go read my book.
Well, I think I told you before, like my friend that I ride with, she doesn't cancel things.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So it's a commitment.
Yeah, if I'd say I'm going to do something, 99% of the time, I do it. I did cancel on her one time, but I was like swamped and tired. I think I didn't feel good. There's a whole list of things why I couldn't do it, but I felt like I needed a list, or she was going to be like at my door. Like, I know you're not sick.
Yeah, for work, I have like a cancellation policy, like a 24-hour cancellation policy. Yeah. But sometimes my schedule gets away from me, and I maybe overcommit a little bit and work days that I'm supposed to not be working and things like that. So, case in point, tomorrow I had a whole bunch of clients before I was supposed to pick up my kids, and then, riding lesson, and then I have an event for like 3 days. And I had 2 clients. They were like, oh, shucks, I just can't do it. Can we reschedule? And I was like, oh, it's too bad. And so I just moved everybody earlier, and I'm planning on taking a nap. And then I plan on driving to Philly and getting ready for work early. I'm going to leave a day early so I could sit in a hotel room by myself and not be bothered.
Oh,
I know.
Hotel room by yourself?
It's basically like that's a porn movie for me right now. Like, just, like, what? I can take a bath? What? Oh my God. Oh, I don't have to hear the dogs barking and be woken up. So really the whole idea of this was I have to set up my booth, and I didn't want to do it at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get to sleep in till like 8 a.m. on Friday.
Ooh,
I know.
Sexy. Hey, getting to sleep till 8 before work is amazing.
I know.
Because those Equine Affaire mornings are early for me.
Yeah, they are early. But I'm proud of you. You got up like a champ. I was always up and ready before you, but you're not a morning person, and I am. Like, you did it. You brought it. And you did it without coffee. Well, much coffee.
And I never would have gotten there that early without you because
Sitting there warming up my car with the keys in my hand.
basically because Jean used to laugh if she suggested I get anywhere before 10 o'clock, and then she'd be like, who am I talking to?
No wonder she loves having me. She's like,
Yeah.
Heather will corral Natalie.
Yeah, she gets me there. I mean, I've shown up around 11, like been very bad about showing up at the bookstore. So
I can't stand my hair right now. I'm sorry, I keep messing it.
oh, mine is disgusting.
Yeah, I'm like, it's so curly right now, and all I want to do is like, get rid of it.
Shave it.
Shave it.
I saw a woman the other day with the most beautiful shaved head. Like her skull was perfect.
Okay, I have a tiny pinhead and I have curly hair. Like none of that screams. And I have a huge forehead. Look at this. It's like not even. It's more than 4 fingers.
I'm not sure it's something that you know until you do it. Like you shave your head and you either have a perfect skull for it or you don't.
Listen,
and you just
I've cut my hair short and regretted it every time. I've gotten bangs and regretted it. Shaving your head is a whole other level.
No, I'm telling you, you don't know till you try.
Oh, no.
I would look like a bowling ball because of my round, my chubby cheeks.
It would just make my
extra
chin stand up. Yeah, it'd be like,
yeah. I know.
See, don't you know I use my hair to hide my face, like when I need to?
You're like Violet from The Incredibles. Just pull your hair over your face.
Don't pay attention to me. I'm not here.
I used to do that, and then with my hair too long, that's when I noticed all those grays were sticking out to the sides in Massachusetts, and I was like, what are those?
I love that your hair just like sticks out like that. Like you did that
in
Equine Affair.
Not I mean, it will if I pull it, but it was doing it specifically in Massachusetts. I was like, I'm gonna shave that part, so I can't do that.
See, that I like. I like the partial shave, like but or
like
you
a
could just braid it. Yeah, you could just braid it. I mean, that takes a lot of time, but you know, I'm all for low maintenance, and for me, because it's curls. The longer the hair, the lower the maintenance it is.
Do you think I could shorten my hair, like get rid of the ends of it with my main knife?
Don't do that.
What if I did?
You gonna pull your hair?
No, it's not. That's the thing. It's a knife. So it inside of the teeth, it's sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So you pull it up like you were gonna pull, but then you just push it down and it cuts the hair, but it cuts it at an angle. So it's kind of like the shears that a hairdresser would use. And you get a pulled mane look, but it's cutting the hair. You're not pulling the mane.
I know, but there's no guarantee you would do it straight. Like, how would you?
Well, it already looks bad, is my point.
How would you know? You never let your hair down.
I let my hair down at home, and I go, oh, no, it looks bad, and I put it up.
Your hair, I might have seen you with your hair down like 3 times, and it's always when Corey's around. I feel like that's when you let your freak flag fly. I
just know he likes my hair, so I'm like, here it is. You can look at it.
You can pet it if you like.
Basically. It's only down for him. It's not for me.
I know, because you don't like the feel of your hair.
I don't like anything touching me.
Well, this is the time we're entering the time of year, and I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, is I like to straighten my hair during the winter because of hoodies and the jackets, because I get these big knots at the base of and with the curls, it's always easily knotted anyway. So if I straighten it, then it's less likely to be like ripping whole balls.
Do you have to straighten it like every day, or is it like a thing?
You've met me. When have I ever washed my hair every day?
Well, that's why I'm curious. Like, what do you do? Is it like a chemical straightener? What are you doing?
Oh, no. So
I don't know how this works.
So because you don't do your hair, which technically I only do for 3 months, but I will take like one of those like Revlon round brush things.
Yeah.
And I'll blow dry it straight. And then it lasts for about 4 or 5 days.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
Well, because for me, my hair's so fine. Like there's not a lot to it. Like, you know, it looks big, but it's not. When it's a little oily, it actually makes it less frizzy. So it looks good.
I have so much hair.
Yeah, your hair's thick.
It's just so freaking thick. What do you do with all this hair? And it actually looks
I don't
really
know. I don't
good
have that much hair.
Short, but then you have to style it, and it's a whole...
Well, that's the thing. That's why I had my hair short for a time, and then I was like, well, that was a mistake.
It makes my face ugly.
God, you're so weird.
I know. I'm really tired.
I can see that. Yeah,
that's
okay,
such a weird
I like
day.
you when you're punchy. Oh, can we talk about that?
My day?
No. Can we talk about when you got punch drunk at Equine Affair? And I know we recorded the Boozy podcast, but not everybody saw that.
That's true. That's true.
So we might have to fill people on how weird you were.
I mean,
it was cute.
This was Friday. We were madly busy on Friday.
Friday was insane.
It was crazy. I was very tired. It was like, we'd been there like, I don't know. How long had we been there? 11 hours, 12
Until
hours?
7, and we got there at 8:30, so almost 12 hours.
Almost 12 hours.
And we were selling all day.
We really were. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I will say, I also do want to give a shout out because I'm a new baby fiction author. Is like, I so appreciated everybody who came and bought my books and talk to me and all those things. And I know you always appreciate it when people come over and talk to you and buy your books. So I just think we have to recognize that real quick before we
Very
go on.
much so. Like, you save me a lot of stress when you come talk to me. Because if there's no one talking to me, I do feel very anxious. Like, no one loves me. And
you do feel, I feel like that too. I'm like, why don't they like me?
It's the only time we interact with people that read our books, really. I mean, we talk to people on Facebook, which is great. Do not get me wrong. But I feel like there is some emotional component to FaceTime with people that can be very lacking with just social media interaction. So when people come and they talk and they say, I love your stuff, then we go, oh my God, someone likes
Thank you. Somebody does.
Oh my God. It really does. It just amps it up. Like that appreciative.
It really does.
Stuff.
And I would say, like, there was a couple of people that stopped by. They're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I read your book this last year. And do you have anything new that's out? And I was like, oh my God, I do. And it was so cool to see people actually read my stuff and then wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
Because you always wonder, like, is this a one and done? Do they hate me now?
Right. Or they're good. They're like, I've read it. It's fine.
Moving on.
Right. I've already read a book about that subject. Yeah, so it was really good. But it was, it gets exhausting too, because on the other half of that, the other side of that coin is you don't talk to anybody in person for 6 months. And then when you do talk to people for a long time in one day, you get extremely worn out. And just I get mentally, like you said I was glassy eyed.
You were. You look like you've been drinking, and I knew for a fact you weren't because you weren't sharing it with me.
Yep, I was all too sober. I had thought about getting a drink, and then I went to get like a late lunch, and it was so crowded outside I couldn't even get any food. And I walked over to like this indoor snack stand selling basically garbage, just going, I have to eat protein or I'll die. And I was looking at the beers, like that might help. And then you texted me that there were people waiting for me, so I had to run back.
Yeah, your message reply was, oh shit.
That was my message reply.
I'm gonna save that. And they'd been waiting for a while, so it was one of those things. But it was funny because so we were going to dinner that night with some friends of ours from different brands, right? And so I don't know. Normally Friday isn't as busy as it was, right? Mm-hmm. But I wanted to make sure we did dinner before Saturday because Saturday sucks. Right? We're too tired. It's day 3. Mm-hmm. We're done. And so I was driving a couple people over to the restaurant.
Yes.
On the property. And you and I were just bickering Bickersons.
We were.
I call it banter, but it was a work-wife situation.
It really was. I felt slightly out of control. Like a toddler.
And I was poking you.
That can't stop being bad. And mother's like, why can't you stop being bad? And you're like, I don't know. Do you remember being like that? I do. And I was very much in that position where you were poking me and I was coming back at you with like an upraised hand. Like, I can't stop myself. I was shouting.
And all I remember is like, Lisa Veltri in the back going, you guys should have a TV show. and I'm like, that's not the first time we've heard that ever. And then PJ is like, oh, maybe I should listen to the podcast because if this is what you guys sound like, we're like, no, this is totally what we sound like. This is it.
Yeah. It gets no better.
And also I'm calling her out. Like, what? She doesn't listen to our podcast? Like, fail.
Yeah. So I didn't want to bring that up, but we might have to send her some gentle reminder emails. So we heard that you're not in our cult, and so we're very disappointed.
And here's a link to the episode where we talked badly about you. Go ahead, listen.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So,
We love PJ. Go buy her stuff at Batory.
so PJ sat between us to
She did.
separate us at dinner, and it was wise. Once I had a little bit of gin in me, and I'd sat quietly, and then I had a roll butter,
Carbs
that
do it.
everything was fine. Mm-hmm.
Well, and it was nice.
And then I
Yeah,
got
even I was
tired.
getting a little testy. And when I get confrontational, that's when you know, because I'm not a confrontational person. Like
Right.
I'm a forward person. I don't have much of a filter, but I'm not like in your face confrontational.
Yeah.
I was getting there, man. I was about I was about to go.
It's so funny because it makes me think of like drunk girls in the club and like they love each other, but then all of a sudden they're fighting and they don't mean to. They just have no control anymore. And I was like, we're on that road.
Well, I wasn't mad at you, but I was definitely looking for a reaction.
Right. Right. I just didn't know where, it was snowballing. Like I wasn't mad, but I couldn't stop myself from being rude either.
I better see. I like when you're rude. I think I feed off of it. So yeah. So we had to be separated. It was clearly a good choice. We had a
Yeah.
nice dinner.
There's a noisy restaurant at sometimes anyway, so I didn't want to like start screaming. Embarrass us.
Totally
Yeah.
fine. I don't think anyone would have blamed us. It was the end of a day.
No,
And,
everybody just looked ready to sleep. We're sitting there. We have this huge dinner, right? There's like all these people gathered around, all these tables pulled together, and we're just looking at each other like, "Oh my God." 'Cause it was
yeah,
so
like no
busy.
one wanted to be there. Even so Connie and Allison from Reading Out were there, and Connie's mom and daughter came. Mom and daughter left almost immediately. They were like, "We're not going to make it," and they didn't even work that day.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun though.
It was fun. I never it was it was definitely cool. Like we have our little group of power women, that we get to hang out with at these events, and it's inspiring in a weird way that we all are like running these small businesses and keeping horses in our lives, and we're like inspired by horses all in the same way. I think that's really neat.
And it's neat that we all support each other. Like, it's not a competitive thing, right? And you and I were talking a little bit about this too, because we're both authors. I've just started writing fiction, which is your domain, right? You're the queen of fiction.
It's mine.
And rather than kind of view it as I'm somehow usurping, you're like, cool, have you checked out Heather's books? Because readers don't just read one book. It's not like that. And I think that that's the cool thing about the women we've been hanging out with. It's the same thing for that. And even we went to a Mexican restaurant with Susan Friedland, who is the co-host of the Barn Banter by Horse Illustrated podcast, and her friend Amy Ellison from Hunt Seat Paper Co. And that was our first time meeting Amy in person, right? Was that your first time meeting her?
Yeah, Amy was so fun.
So fun. She almost had us going out dancing to Grateful Dead, which is like so not our vibe.
Yeah. No, I wasn't going to do that.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I considered it.
I don't know, I was so like blitzed from that day that I thought she was talking about another time that had happened. I didn't even know it was a suggestion for that night until you told me later.
To the music happening now. Let's go.
I thought she was like, oh yeah, there was this one time where I went to listen to Grateful Dead music. I was like, cool, that's fine. Sip my drink. That's it.
I was never so hungry as I sat down, and I've never finished a plate of food in my life like I did that night. So, yeah, I did. Well, that's the thing. We weren't eating breakfast. Our lunches were hurried because we were talking to people all day and at the tables. And so dinner was like it. That dinner was the meal.
It was. Usually, and in times past, I've had the time to go out to a food truck and get something to eat. And I've had some good meals at Equine Affaire in Massachusetts, not in Ohio. I've had terrible meals at the Equine Affair in Ohio. I'm just putting you all on notice. You got to get better food trucks. But that baked potato and stuff. And I went outside at like 2:30 in the afternoon, and you couldn't move by the food trucks. It was packed.
Yeah.
And the only one that wasn't, the reason I was gone so long was I walked all the way down to the end, and I stood for a while at this burger place thinking, I can eat a little burger. And then I realized that the only burgers they sold were burgers on donuts.
What the
That was their whole deal. They only sold burgers on donuts. And don't get me wrong, I love a good burger on a donut. It's great. I actually do.
You've tried that?
Mm-hmm. They're fantastic. Okay. They're fantastic. Okay. However, I'm not going to eat a whole one. And I'm not going to eat it while I'm trying to stay alive at a horse show selling
You don't be
books.
running to the bathroom every 5 minutes.
Not only that, I mean, you just go into a coma and die. Like all that sugar and fat and grease. You just like I need a beer and a bed and some other people if I'm gonna have a burger donuts. It's just
Oh my God, you're making me so hungry.
another
What is going
another
on with
one.
your microphone? She's trying. It keeps
You know, I think
assaulting
maybe I
you.
have it turned the wrong way and it's not balancing on its little tripod thing.
I'm not. I love that. It's like what, the third or fourth time it's
the
trying
third
to
time.
attack. Your breasts are magnetic, Natalie. It's because you're wearing an woo, girl.
Like if I lift them up all the way, they're very exciting. Like a tavern wench.
Well, that's just gravity. I wore a bra.
I'm wearing a super tight sports bra. So
I wore a bra.
I like them to be squashed. They fit into shirts better that way.
Yeah, no, I've actually doubled up and worn a bra with a sports bra over it because I'm that large. But
yeah,
I was like, nope, these need to be not on my belly button today. That'd be great. So,
yeah, for real.
That's where I'm at.
So, yeah, so the food situation was kind of dire, honestly. I was just drinking very sweet coffee for like hours. So I need to do a better job with protein.
Maybe next year we stop off and get like some wrap sandwiches, and then like just put it in a cooler or something like that and just eat that. Because I saw Susan actually had a tomato mozzarella like pesto sandwich. Ooh. And I was like, where'd you get that, bitch? And why are you gatekeeping? So
that would have been so good.
It would have been, and it would have been something that could sit and you could just pick at it a little bit. Yeah. And she was sitting in the front with her new book, Marguerite, Misty, and Me. So she was quite popular too. So I'm
everyone in the horse world is going to have that book before long. Like,
that's good.
It's so popular. Everyone's going to have a copy, and they're all they're going to enjoy it. It's a great book. It's a really great read. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's doing a phenomenal job. Yeah, doing a phenomenal job. So, it's all in though. I think it was so much fun. Every year I go, I have so much fun. And this year, actually, I was a really good girl. I did not nearly shop as much as I could have, and I brought cash, and that was why. I only paid with the cash I brought.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And if they didn't accept cash, I didn't buy it.
I don't forego any opportunity to get Sky Miles, so I used my card. But I only bought stuff on my list, except for that belt. But that belt was $15. So
and you needed it to hold up your pants.
I did. My pants were falling off. The deals are so good at Equine Affaire that you can come with a list. Like I'll wait 6 months on something so that I don't have to order it online or I don't have to pay full price for it somewhere. I'll just wait for Equine Affaire. And it's so much fun. You get stuff for half off. I got Manny a new blanket. It was only $50 for a Schneider's like turnout blanket. I didn't even need that much stuff this year, but I still got some cool deals. State line tax stuff is always 50% off. Like, I'm sure it pays for itself for so many people that go, especially if they have lots of horses or lots of kids riding or something.
Oh my God, no. I think Equine Affaire, I found myself at a tax store, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and I was like, no, I'm not going to buy anything, even though I need it, because I'm waiting for Equine Affaire. And they have the best deals. And what I do, this is my plan, I go around Thursday and I see what's available, what I need, what I like. And then Sunday, before I pack up all my stuff, I go through, I say goodbye to all my friends at their booths, and I purchase from them then.
Yeah. I need to be back on the Sunday thing with these. I need to figure out this flight situation so I can buy stuff on Sunday. And the other thing is you're buying entirely from small businesses.
Absolutely.
It's like a giant horse craft fair where you're buying from all of these like great people. You're not buying from corporations. And so, you're helping people run their businesses and pay for their trip there and all that stuff. It's awesome. It really
it's great.
is.
And you could talk to the people who own the companies a lot of times. They're the ones running the booth. So you can get to know if you have questions about this brand, ask the owner. Like this is the most accessible time. I'm excited to start a new supplement by Iron Horse. Supplements for Delight's feet because he's been super thrushy. I heard about it on our friend Mandy's podcast. I was like, oh my God, she's here. Started talking to her. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I am going to try it. I'll let her know what I think. And, she gave me her card. She's like, absolutely. I think that's the best part. I don't know why it's not as crowded as it was before COVID. This should be back and better than ever. It seems like the most amazing event.
It really seems like it's getting that way. I was going to say, I also found a great new ribbon vendor that's a small business for whatever
You did.
our
And
next
they do
challenge will
trophies
be.
too.
Noro Gala ribbons out of Maine. And they have these beautiful rosés. And I'm talking to women about how they're made. They're handmade. Every one of those little folded ribbons, those rosés, they're hand folded. Can you imagine?
Amazing.
Oh, I
We
can't
have to
believe it.
support small business
And
because
it's
we're
in
small
Maine, so it's not like
businesses.
a sweatshop of little children making these ribbons.
Unless they're
The
elves.
sweatshop of adult women making. No, I don't know who's making them. Um,
The little Christmas elves.
yeah, that too. Uh, yeah, no, it's so cool. It's just like to be able to talk to the people who are running the businesses and figure out, and if you have an idea for something, people will talk to you about how you can make it happen. And if you have any sort of weirdness going on with your horse or your riding, or I don't know, probably your family, somebody will talk to you about that. It's just really cool.
It is really cool. And I actually had a cool moment. So I'm going to fangirl for a second because, I'm an equine body worker. I went over to Trafalgar Square Books. I have a book coming out with them next year. And I was talking with them over there. And Jim Masterson of the Masterson Method walks over. And I was like, holy coolness, right? Because I'd introduced myself to him a couple years ago at Equitana. But, it was super quick. And so we're just sitting there and we're just shooting the fucking shit. We just shot the shit. And we were talking about being a body worker full time and, about like documenting what we do for people. And it was like, holy crap, this man is my peer. I mean, he's not my peer. He's so much beyond. But it was really cool because we were interacting like we were, colleagues. And I just thought this is the best part about the horse world and
Yes.
these events because you go to these events and the people you look up to are just standing right next to you.
Yeah, 100%. I really love that. First time I ever realized that all horse people are the same, like professionals are just like us, was when I was a kid. I went to the American Invitational, which is a jumper show that used to be like, I think it was in an arena in Tampa, like a stadium or something. And I was waiting in line for the bathroom next to Margie Goldstein at like the height of her powers. Margie Goldstein Engel. By the time she was Margie Goldstein, she was like at the height of her Olympic fame and her elbows out and her little shriek and all that sort of stuff. And I adored her. She was standing next to me to go to the bathroom.
How real is that?
I had no idea that Olympic riders wore their red jacket to the stadium bathroom and stood in line just like everybody else. Who knew? And it's only gotten better since then.
It is true. It is true. Yeah, and I keep reminding myself of that. Like the person I was when I was 9 years old would be absolutely shocked at the cool things I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just nice to take a second. But yeah, Equine Affair is a do not miss. It really is. It's a do not miss.
Yeah. And and I will say one thing about incredible deals and one place that slightly beats Equine Affair, and that really was Land Rover Kentucky 3-day event. Mind blowing deals. But it's like it's 100% English, so for me that's like Candyland. I don't have to share any space with anything else. It's like it's all breeches, But if you're into that, I was shocked. I had no idea that was going to be such a huge shopping event. I'm an idiot. It was incredible. Extra suitcase next time, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've always wanted to go, but I've just never been able to get there. The timing, because I have so much stuff in May, that to do it back to back, it's just too much.
Yeah, I would go ahead and cancel something really important in May, something you really care about. Cancel
the Westminster Dog Show,
and it's going to be so much better at Land Rover. You're going to be like, suck it, Westminster Dog Show. You're going to give it the finger. Like, absolutely not, because that's how good Land Rover is. So I'll see you there.
I'll consider it. This year I'm going to Turks and Caicos in the beginning of April, and then, and then right after Land Rover is the Westminster Dog Show, which I'm working for. So, we'll see. This is going to be the year of travel. So,
yeah,
I will get there. It may not happen until the kids are in college. So
Okay, I do have that advantage.
Yeah. My life is not my own.
Mhm.
Thanks for pointing it out.
Mhm, mhm. No,
Yeah.
what I'm pointing out is that it will be, and it's
It
even better than you think.
Well, and I'm not rushing it, but I've got text messages going on right here and I'm on Do Not Disturb, right? So this is just the point is like, what's for dinner? I don't know. I'm too tired to make my own. Maybe I'm gonna go to bed unless we order.
Oh my
Dot dot
God.
dot. I'm like, they're using ellipses. Wow, this is serious. And then I was like, I'll order if you guys can come to a decision, and then cue thousands of text messages of them fighting over what they're getting. So
Oh my God. We're just
yeah.
having pizza like normal people.
No, 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 no. But one of my children won't eat pizza and never has. So God forbid you recommend pizza and then she's like, "You don't love me. You pick something I won't eat." Like
Did she
it's
have
a
a Caesar
drama.
salad? What the hell?
I, I don't know.
I wouldn't,
I
honestly, if I would never stop ridiculing, and this is why I'm a bad parent to more than one child. Because if I had one child who was like, well, I don't eat pizza, I would be like, well, then you're a broken human and you're never going to be anything in life. And they would just be like, what? I'd be like, you can't be the person that doesn't eat pizza. Don't be the person that announces to everyone that you don't do what 100% of society does. It's very annoying. I've actually kind of gotten into it with Calvin before about not drinking coffee.
Oh, I don't.
I'm like,
I don't drink coffee.
I know you don't drink coffee, but like he's probably going to work in like an office setting and probably in like urban settings where people are like, let's go get coffee. And I've told him, I'm like, I get that you don't drink coffee. You don't have to announce it.
You have to
You
go.
just go and you get a drink that you like also. You don't go, oh, I don't drink coffee. But I
Right.
worked with this guy who only drank decaf and he would always announce it. I'd be like, great, let's get coffee. And he'd be like, decaf for me. I'm like, yeah, you're going to order it yourself. You don't have to tell me or
Oh, it's like they want
everyone.
attention because of it.
Decaf. I want decaf. Nobody cares. Shut up. Just get whatever you want. Leave me out of it. That's important.
I think you feel pretty strongly about this now.
I really feel strongly about people that are like, I have to announce my choices to everyone. Like, you don't. You just make the choice. Nobody's going to look at you and be like, you ordered decaf?
They
Tell
wouldn't
me
even
about that.
know.
They're
They
not
wouldn't
going
even know.
You're just going to walk up and say, I would like a decaf latte, and everybody will be fine. Be fine. Let's go get drinks. Okay. Get an iced tea. Nobody's going to notice.
Right. It's the same thing with liquor. Yeah. You
Mhm.
don't have to be like, well, I don't drink. Why don't you drink? And it's almost like they're just a leading question.
Because that's supposed to be an offensive question itself, right? You're not supposed to ask people why they don't drink.
Correct.
So you just hinted something. You just hinted that there's a story there, and now I want the story
Now
so
you
I
need to
can
find out.
yeah, I want to grandstand and be like, oh, what a story! But I'm not allowed to ask you the story. So
Right.
you've put me in a very difficult position. Is that what you
Okay.
want? That is what you want.
I mean, that's what I was doing to you the other night.
If you're doing it right now,
Everything you hated. I was like, poke.
I'm like coming out with all of these controversial opinions now. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All I'm
I
saying is
know.
you don't have to announce everything.
This is what
Just get what
happens
you
when
want.
we talk in the evening. I'm not at my best. I
Yeah.
completely am just like spiraling you down.
I'm going wild.
And all I'm thinking about right now as we talk is like, she said cheeseburgers and donuts. Like that's all I can think about. It's like,
You really should try it one time.
well, I'm just really
split it with
hungry
somebody.
because I
Yeah.
haven't eaten yet today because it's Hell Week. So I'm like, oh,
I made
kids want
pancakes for
Mexican
lunch.
pancakes. So I try not to do carbs as a meal, like a full
Oh
meal.
my God. I don't do carbs as
I mean,
meal.
No. Just for my inflammation, okay? Like, listen, I'm gonna start poking you, but like, I'll do it. I'll do it periodically, but I try not to make that happen because I'm just hungry 5 minutes later.
Oh no, totally. I actually put an egg on mine, which is like a weird Pennsylvania thing. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Where you put
An egg on top of it, and then you break the yolk open.
mhm.
Yeah, I've seen it. Don't like it.
I was brought up that way, and then I found out that it horrified people that weren't from
You're
that tiny
also brought up in a cult. Like,
No, it's not a cult thing. It's a Pennsylvania thing.
okay.
Like, and it might just be southeast, like Bucks County, Pennsylvania.
I have a lot of clients in Bucks County. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna be in Bucks County tomorrow. I'm gonna ask.
Make sure they're from there. They didn't move there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because if
All
they
right.
just like live there because they're able to buy a nice property in Bucks County.
Challenge accepted. I'm
They
gonna
might
go
not be Pennsylvania
to my
people.
local clients and be like, "Do you put pancakes and eggs together?" And I'll see what they say, and then I'll know.
You put a dippy egg on top of a pancake.
Is that what you call it, a dippy egg?
You call them dippy eggs. I didn't know what a sunny. I'm still not sure what a sunny side up is as compared to a dippy egg.
Okay, so I'm going to ask if they like dippy eggs. That's just going to be like my question.
Dippy egg, that'll be a tip off. That's a
Okay.
very Pennsylvania thing to say.
I'll be in the know.
Yeah.
Oh my
Scrapple
God.
and dippy egg.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't do
That's how
scrapple.
PA rolls.
All right. So now that I'm hungry, let's wrap it up with an adulting win of the week because it is Hell Week. So let's end on a happy little note. Happy little fucking note.
Ben's feet look fantastic.
Now you're just bragging, you bitch. You know what I'm going through.
Well, I just changed some stuff with Ben because I was like, I had to have a serious conversation. Not a serious conversation.
With your horse?
With my horse. And I had to do the, when you're like, I don't want to be the person that knows more than my farrier because I don't know more than my farrier. But I was like, I need to tell my farrier that I want her to do something a little differently. And I felt like, ooh, I hope she doesn't get mad at me. And so I was like, this is like 2 cycles ago. I said, hey, I really want to change this and this. I feel like this shape is not right. And I want to change how we're doing it. And she's like, yeah, okay. I was doing it like this way because we're on a 6-week cycle, but what I can do is just, we'll move you to a 4-week cycle and we'll take off more and we'll just see how he does without this here and that and the other. And I was like, great. And it's working.
Nice.
So all I had to do was just let her know that when she wasn't there, it wasn't working. And then she was like, oh, I'll make it work then. And so I am very pleased with that.
I love that.
Does that make
sense?
sense?
That's actually a really good thing.
She's a great farrier and I love her. She's really cool. I like having girl farriers.
Make sure you tip her really well for the holidays because those farriers are not in a lot of supply right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of farriers in Ocala area, but not girl farriers.
True.
A lot of good old boy farriers. They make me uncomfortable.
You know because you're wearing your orange sun shirt with your boobs hanging out.
Yeah, I have my boobs hanging out.
You're asking for it.
I'm asking for it. No.
You're like a little bit that strange.
Oh my God.
See, this is what happens. I need to eat.
Yeah. And also I didn't get weird with that guy who asked me if I was a Confederate or a Yankee at the post office. So I got that going for me.
Did not hear that story.
I didn't tell you that story?
No.
Oh my God. I told a lot of people. I told the girls at Trafalgar. You were talking to Martha.
How could we were staying together? How could you not tell me this one?
It didn't come up. But basically I met like one of the founding members of the town I live in at the post office, which the post office is just amazing. All kinds of good stuff happens at the post office. And we were chatting and he asked me if I was a Confederate or a Yankee in quite a drawl, like in the most drawl. And I was like, sir, I don't believe I have to answer that question. And basically everybody in the post office was like, oh, yes, you do. And I was like, well, I'm from Central Florida. And he goes, you're a Yankee. And I was like, what are we doing here? What is happening?
I can't believe that happened in like real life.
Yeah, no, that happened in
2023.
But he was super nice. Like we walked out together and he was like, if I can ever do anything for you, you let me know. He was nice
because you were probably the same as him. Like if you said the opposite, what would have happened?
What do you mean?
If you said you were a Confederate.
He's a Confederate.
Okay. Well, then why does he care?
Well, because I'm a Yankee.
I mean, I guess.
It's from Florida. That's from south of the Mason-Dixon line. But it's 200 years later or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like move on. You weren't alive during that.
That's my point. I'm like, I don't think that this is a relevant question, sir. Oh, it's your okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's going downhill. All right. So my adulting win. Thanks so much for asking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to. I got confused.
It's really fine. You threw me with that whole Confederate Yankee thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah, well.
I'm going to say it was awkward. Yeah.
Well, I will say my adulting win of the week was seeing a whole bunch of my friends and people that I love that I don't get to see very often. And I will grudgingly say you are one of those. It was really nice to see you in person. Every time I see you, it's fun. I have to recover from it, but it's a lot of fun. And
it was amazing. And the pajama cast was amazing.
Oh my God. Did you watch it sober?
A little bit of it. And I showed the tattoo part to Corey.
I'm not embarrassed.
No, you shouldn't be. It was amazing. All of it was good. I'm just glad it's on Patreon.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want that out viral.
That is
No.
paywalled content, folks. And
Yeah, that is non-shareable content. Thank
yeah,
you very much.
It was pretty great. I'm excited that we did it because it's kind of the thing we talked about for a long time.
We have talked about doing it for a while,
Mhm.
and I love that we were sharing a microphone. And that was kind of we never record together because when we're at these events we get so tired, so we're always in a separate room. And now people got to see what it's like when I'm basically on your lap.
It was so funny. It really was. We both cried so hard. I was sobbing. It was so funny when we watched the playback. I was like, oh my god.
I don't usually like watching myself, but that was fucking funny.
So funny.
So that is my adulting win, is hanging out and seeing everybody at Equine Affaire. So I thought that was fun. So, oh my God. All right. Well, we got to get back to Hell Week, but we'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon. Not in our pajamas.
If you're lucky.
Thank you for being a little weird with us, horse girls. If you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on your player of choice. Follow us on Instagram at Adulting with Horses Podcast, or even better, join our Adulting with Horses Clubhouse on Facebook, where you can become part of the show. Also, it's a great place to meet other horse crazy women. Thanks, and see you next time.